There we go, and we are back. The camera's all messed up because it doesn't save the settings, but we're back, we're live. Let me just sort this out quickly. No happened there. Computer just had a hissy fit, but it's all sorted now, so all is okay. Computer stop. There we go. Better-ish.
So I'll just feel for a bit. I'm not sure how much was said, but Essex Boys, I know you're asking, the rule set should be on Games Workshop website. They do the basic rule set as a free download. So if you go into the AOS page on the community, you can normally get the basic rule set to download from there. If not, the Warrior box sets are quite a good way to start, aren't they? 25 quid.
Yeah, it's like 25, 30 quid. I got the Warrior one, which is, it's got 5. What are the Stormcast that are in that? The Speary ones?
Vindicators.
5 Vindicators.
Lord Arcanum.
A Lord Arcanum, and then it comes with 10 Gut Rippers, which are these boys. And I can't remember what the HQ is for them. If it's a Belcher banner or something else. It comes with one of the HQs anyway, so it's a nice way to start. That's why I've got it for me and Alfie. Start teaching him how to play. Stream resurrected at Easter, perfect. I know. I don't know what happened, so apologies for the interruption. We're back now. Hopefully everything will be okay and won't interrupt again. I really lost my train of thought though now. But yeah, I think I was saying, in terms of Age of Sigmar, I don't think I'm likely to get another army. I'll stick with this one. I'll grow it to a point where I've got, everything or most things. Part of that's because I haven't got anywhere to store any more armies. I'm kind of wondering where I'm going to store this one. At the minute, it's sort of taking up half a shelf next to my salamanders. But then if I grow this one more, or I grow my salamander one more, then I don't know. But I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of running out of space for my Necrons. They're going to have to move on to a second shelf at some point. So,
from the looking at the game as a holistic view, that's cool, big word. How did you find list building and creation of the sort of the synergy of the units?
So when I built the list for my orcs and stuff, I didn't really know how stuff would work together, and it's only once I started playing that I went, oh, this guy does this thing, and that's really good for these guys. Like the shaman with the poison thing that I can give to my units, and pairing that with the bolt skewer, man skewer bolt boys, means that I've got like a range thing that can deal mortal wounds like 1/3 of the time, which was really cool, and that's something that I'll be using more. In terms of the actual list building, I don't know if what I've done is that so like my Gut Rippers for a unit of 10.
Yep.
It's 180 points.
Yep.
Is that always the case, or is it like 40k where you have a simple version, which is like the power levels and stuff, and then when you play proper games, you pay per point for like everything, for the weapons, for the models, for everything?
No, the weapons are included. Right. So
okay.
180 points, and you choose which weapons they are, and that's why the weapons, if you look at the options in the weapons, they don't increase the power, they change. So one will be like a 2-inch range and no rend, and the other will be a 1-inch range with 1 rend.
Yeah.
So you're trading off a statistic within the unit for a stat. So neither set of weapons is completely OP to the other.
Neither is
so
necessarily better, it's just different.
Exactly. So you use them for different battlefield roles and against different armies. So depending on who you were fighting against is how you would potentially build that army up.
Yeah. Well, in that case then, like the list building is a hell of a lot easier than 40k. I know a lot of my friends, when they introduced power levels in 8th edition, I think that was, or was it 7th? It might have been 7th. I don't know, because I didn't play 7th edition. But 8th edition, certainly, they introduced power levels, which gave you an easier option, which basically, this unit is 3 power, and it doesn't matter what options you have within that unit, it costs 3 power, and that's it. Which was an easy way to play, but then you still have, like for competitions, tournaments and stuff like that, you still have your regular list building where you pay points per model, and then you have to pay points for the weapons, points for upgrades, and all that sort of stuff. If that's the case where it's always just that is the cost of the unit and that's it, and then you just add on the whatever weapons and stuff you want, then that's a lot easier. It's a lot nicer to work with.
The requirements you have within your list building is for a normal match play 2,000 point army is obviously you've got to have a general and 3 battle line troops. So those are your bog standard troops. What can get fun is...
So you only have to have 3 in
you only have to
2,000
have
points?
3 of your battle line. Now what gets fun is when you decide to start selecting different factions or generals, different units become battle line.
Right.
So for you, when you were if you were...
the big yellows.
Yeah.
Manskewer Bolt Boys become battle line, don't
Exactly.
they? Yeah.
So you can then put those in. You don't need to worry about the normal dudes.
Yeah.
For Sigmar, things like if I was to run as a Knights Excelsior, I think it is, Storm Host, my Annihilators would become battle line. So I wouldn't have to put in other people.
Essex Boys, it says, is there a book for Death as a whole faction, or are the army books broken down? I'm not sure for Death. I know for the Orruks ones, I've got the Orruk War Clans, but that is technically like 4 different armies, 3 different armies, because it's the Cruel Boys, which is what I'm doing. It's Iron Jaws. It's the what they call the
Sun Spearman.
What?
Destruction. Oh, sorry. In your you've got Bone Splitters.
Bone Splitters, that's the one.
Yep.
And then there's also like Gloomspike. Gloomspikes aren't in mine.
So within Gloomspikes have got their own codex, but desperately need an update because they're terrible. Although they do have Troggoths, which are cool models. And also in Destruction is Sons of Behemoth, who are the giants, who are amazing models.
Yeah, but they all have their different books.
Yeah.
As opposed to being in one.
They
They did used to have like big books that were just chaos and destruction, but they're like extra stuff.
I think so, yeah. For Death, you've got Nagash, you've got Ossiarch Bone Reapers, you've got Vampires, a couple other things I can't quite remember.
Are they all in their own separate
They're
books?
all in their own
as well?
separate books, but you can ally within your thing, so all the Death guys can ally quite easily with each other to fit together.
Yeah, but you would need to have all the books
Yes.
then at that point.
Yeah, or the app.
So all the different orcs are in one book. Yes, apart from the
Gloomspike
Gates, they have their own book. But yes, all the Iron Jaws, the Cruel Boys, and the Bone Splitters. So that's basically, these are the smart ones, the Swampy Boys, and then you've got the ones that are in the big armour, which just look like 40k orcs that got lost. And then you've got the other ones, which are the Savage Orcs, which I'm not interested in them, they look rubbish.
The thing is, the app is very good as well. If you already subscribe to Warhammer TV, then the app is free access, and in there you can do all the list building. You don't necessarily get all of the stratagems and triumphs and things that you can add to them, but at least you can look at basic models and basic stats and have a basic understanding of your army, and then all the clever stuff comes when you get the codex.
The thing is, you can write your list in there, and then what you can do is go to that site, what's it called?
AOS Reminders.
AOSreminders.com. And I'm assuming you put your list into that, and then it'll generate all the stuff you need to... Yeah. So you put your list in that you've written, and then you get a document like this, which has all the different things. So like things to remember to do at the start of the hero phase, stuff to do during the hero phase, during the shooting phase, it's all that sort of stuff. And that's a really handy reminder, especially if you're playing like a sub-faction that you don't play very often, or you're trying something new, or whatever. Then that's a handy reminder sheet. I mean, you do still have to remember to look at that sheet, which I struggled to do yesterday and the day before.
So did I. I think one of the things is the pace of it. Once you get into the flow, you forget to check what you can actually do in that turn. You just sort of go, dice.
But yeah, so that's Age of Sigmar. I'm going to play more. You'll probably see some more stuff on the channel, whether that's on live streams or videos, I don't know. But I'm really, really enjoying working on these now. Now that I've got a colour scheme that I like, now that I've played the game, I'm definitely hooked on it and want to play more. But yeah, as to the question as to if this is my new main game, probably not. I've got about 3,000 points of Necrons painted and about 2,500-3,000 points of Dark Eldar painted. Probably about 1,000, maybe 1,500 points of salamanders painted, I'm not likely to abandon 40k.
I think it's playing alongside, isn't it? It's
yes,
different...
it's having something else to play that's different.
And I certainly think, and I'm a big advocate of Paths to Glory. I like my narrative structure, and that 600 point Paths to Glory is the sort of thing that you can just, if you've got somebody at work you can play with, just pop it in during lunch break, just have a very quick game, or in an evening, nip around somebody's house, quick 600 point game, grab a beer and then shoot home again. Yeah,
and I think that's the thing is, I know that I was a bit sort of like, oh, I'm not bothered about Paths to Glory, but that's because I know that you're going home like later today. So I wasn't as invested, but like I do like that sort of gameplay. There's the reason that I love Blood Bowl as much as I do, and the reason that I love Frostgrave as much as I do, because it's if you enjoy Frostgrave and that sort of campaign narrative thing that you have, where you level up your warband and you build them up, and you get injuries that like cause you to be less good at some stuff, but then you get bonuses for other stuff, and you have to do like your base of operations, all that sort of stuff. All of that is in Age of Sigmar in the Paths to Glory thing, and I think if I got a few of my friends and we all started doing that, I would be a hell of a lot more invested in that.
And I think certainly for any Warcry players, look at Paths to Glory first, because you can use all of your Warcry bands in Paths to Glory. So if you've already got characters with names and you're invested in them and you like them, then you can sort of draw them through and actually play them into Paths to Glory, and then eventually end up in a full AOS battle if you wanted to.
Good morning, Andy Asquith. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. And Lapuno as well. Welcome, buddy. Hope you are okay. So yeah, that's my sort of entry into Age of Sigmar. I've currently got another 20 Gut Rippers here. I've got another 20 on the way. I've got the rest of the other 2 sets of Dominion that I can get working on and get sort of built up. So I've got a good chunk of a core army there. And then after that, like I say, it's just a couple of big monsters, and then I'll be pretty much done with building it up, and then it's just a case of configuring it and playing different lists. But I'm definitely going to be doing some more. I'm going to be playing at work. Probably at some point. Luke's got 3 armies that he said he wants to learn how to play. So I'll probably end up playing, whether it's at work or whether it's just at work. I don't know. It'll probably be after work, because we're very, very busy. Speaking of which, we've got a new video out at 10 o'clock. So in 25 minutes, there is a brand new video over on the Pickle Jar, the main channel. There's a video live over on Geek Gaming Scenics. And then there's also one live over on Benji's Hobbies as well. It's not really a collab, but it kind of is a collab. This a crossover. So I highly recommend to go and watch all 3. Obviously watch mine first, because it is the best. And then go and watch the other 2 as well, for a couple of different perspectives on things.
It's a trilogy.
It is a trilogy. It's not a Cornetto trilogy though, but it is a trilogy. Pickle, you need to get one of the cabbage riding orcs. They're for the other ones though. They're the Iron Jaws. I'm getting the big vulture boy.
Exactly how it goes.
That is my impression of a vulture.
Exactly how it goes.
Anyway, I did have a page open for the pre-orders, but then because my computer spazzed, I've not. So just let me get the pre-orders page open, and then we will take a look at the cool stuff that went on pre-order yesterday. If I click on that, there we go. So so yesterday there were some pre-orders went up. It was the Norse Blood Bowl team went up for pre-order.
Keep going.
Which I didn't even realise was coming. I mean, I don't know how I've missed this, or when I've missed this, but the Norse Blood Bowl team went up for pre-order. It looks really, really nice. It's not one that I would normally have gone for, but I think I might have to pick this up at some point. Obviously, the Spike magazine went up as well, which will have some extra cool stuff in for the Blood Bowl team. The pitch which I don't know, the picture looks a bit meh, to be honest. It's just blue. And I know it's supposed to be like icy and stuff, but the picture's meh. Not super interesting. The dice look nice.
Dice look very nice.
Star player. Looks a bit like Hulk Hogan.
Does a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smash, brother.
Oh yeah, brother.
Yeah. Say your prayers.
Yeah, and other wrestling things.
Yes.
He is a wrestler, isn't he?
He is a wrestler.
Yeah, there we go.
No, he is a wrestler.
I like this one more. I like the fact that he's just going to throw a barrel of beer at someone.
That is a nice model.
Yeah.
He'll fall off the base every time though, because that foot will come off.
And this guy is cool.
I mean, is he dabbing?
That's not a dab. That's a
What
different
is it?
dance
It's
move. I don't know what it's called, but it's a different dance thing.
Yeah, I am.
It's that, innit?
Yeah.
Or an approximation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does look cool.
That one looks cool.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice model.
And I can certainly see that head being kit bashed into some other stuff.
Yeah,
as well.
definitely. Do you have dragons for Cruel Boys, or is it just the Vulture Boy? It's just the Vulture Boy. I don't think dragons are for Cruel Boys, are they?
Nope.
No, not yet.
Stormcaster dragons.
Yeah, Stormcast. So I have to be a boring Stormcast player.
The meta is lots of dragons at the moment, although it's switching slightly now. But yeah, lots of dragons, lots of Stormcast.
Yeah. So yeah, there we go. And there's some artwork, I guess.
That's the classic old one.
Yeah, some fine print artwork, and then the McFarlane toys are available in North America from today. Oh, that was yesterday. Oh, brilliant!
Is that frozen again?
It's looking. Do you know what? Why did I not notice that? It's not picked up the right. There we go. It's not picked up the right browser. So all this time we've been scrolling through going, oh, this looks nice, that looks nice. And no one's been able to see what we're talking about. So this is the one that looks like Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah!
We'll do the same jokes again.
I don't want to go to Forge World website. Yeah, so that's the guy that looks like Hulk Hogan. That's the guy that I like because he's throwing a barrel of beer. That's the one that's dancing. And then that's the one that looks cool. There you go. A short summary. I didn't notice. I'm really disappointed with the dwarf range for Age of Sigmar. The Fire Slayers are all a bit samey, and the Cardon Overlords are a bit too metal for me.
Yeah, dwarves aren't very good. They lost a lot of the lore when sort of dwarves got bought out by the Ossiarch Bone Reapers and stuff like that. So basically, the Ossiarch Bone Reapers gather bones for Nagash and stuff, and dwarves, being capitalists, basically sold their soul to the Bone Reapers, and now just run around the Cardon Overlords, run around gathering bone tithes from villages for those dudes. And they've gone very steampunk dwarf, which is nice if you like that. If you don't like that and wanted old school dwarves, you're a bit out of luck, really. You've got Fire Slayers or steampunk.
Yeah.
I think there is a gap in the range for another faction there. It certainly looks like very much like a pre-planned whole. I would not be surprised if in a couple of years, if 4 comes out, there's a brand new faction of classic dwarfs, if you like, sitting in that hole.
Yeah.
But yeah, dwarf range isn't brilliant at the moment, I'm afraid.
I think that's one of the things with Age of Sigmar, because it is I mean, I know it's been around for a while now, but it is still a relatively young game.
Absolutely.
Because it is pretty much. I mean, how long has it been out? Like 10 years ish.
Yeah, we're on the 3rd version now, so probably about 7 or 8.
Yeah, 7 or 8 years. So in terms, like, when you compare to like 40k that's been around for 30?
88 was it 89 was?
Yeah, so like 30 years.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. And 40k is still not perfect. For more on that, listen to tomorrow's podcast.
Yep.
So yeah, this is what went up on pre-order, and then there was the artwork, which is the Sisters of Battle artwork. Oh, sorry, Adeptus Sororitas.
Well, that's the classic old stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they were still sort of sexy sisters
Sexy goths.
before they've turned into psychotic nuns.
And then the McFarlane stuff is up for up for purchase in North America from yesterday as well. Sorry that it didn't show the stuff like when we were talking about it the first time round. I just clicked on the wrong browser.
Should we have a quick look at NIDS?
I can do. Let me find. I'll find
there's
them.
quite a few Tyranid players out there.
So this is. Where am I? I'm UK. Which ones are the new ones?
What does it say, new and exclusive?
For all these?
I think so.
Alright, cool. So here's some Tyranids. There we go. Let's just... Can we just have a look on this instead?
That's the stuff.
This is still just selling
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know which one's new. Why isn't there a... articles, all news and features. What on 40k we want. That one.
That's the pre-order, but that'll be the new stuff, won't it?
Yeah. So here's the Tyranid new stuff that came out yesterday. So it says pre-order. It's out now. Don't worry about pre-ordering. But it's out. As always, you can get the codex, and then you can get the codex without it saying it's a codex, and it costs twice as much. It's the same artwork, just looks a little bit nicer, it's a bit brighter, there's no logos and stuff on it. If you're into that, I guess. I've never understood that, but whatever. Is this a new combat patrol?
Yep. It looks huge. I think if there is anybody out there who's looking at a new army, combat patrols are definitely the way to start getting into it.
I like the fact that their combat patrol is 43 miniatures.
Yes. And it's still probably only like 200 points.
Yeah.
And most of that's the big dude. Combat patrols are definitely the way to start looking at it, aren't they? Because you just get the bulk of your army in there, and you can always flesh out, once you get more interesting units later, you can always just flesh it out with, oh, I've got 150 points, I'll just whack these boys in.
So yeah, that's cool. Always, yeah, as Boffnet said, fantastic way to start a new army. Combat patrols, starter boxes, that sort of thing. So that's cool. Let's get a ton of stuff in there. There's the Parasite of Mortrex. I don't know what it's like in game. It looks cool though.
Looks good.
Yeah, that's a very sexy Tyranid model. I'm glad that Tyranids are getting some new stuff because they need a bit of an overhaul.
Well,
he says to the guard player.
Yeah. I mean, Tyranids are still top tier. There were a couple of rules that came out in one of the, not Nakamund, is it? One of the other books that came out that made them really, oh, look at that, that's classic.
Is that the only new Tyranid model then?
Oh, I thought there was more than that.
There you go. You get one new Tyranid model.
There you go. So they are still fairly top tier when it comes to metagaming. If you want to know more about metagaming, tune in tomorrow to the podcast. But yeah, but just fleshing out, if that's not a pun, a lot more of the rules would be cool.
Yeah. Obviously, as always, you get the data cards, you get the dice. They're all themed to Tyranids. So if you're a Tyranid player, then yesterday was a good day for new stuff. Let's just have a look at these as well.
I love that. Look at that. It's that beautiful green base as well. This is nostalgia, folks. This is wallow in the slightly dorky metal prints.
Yeah. This is what came out yesterday as well.
Yep.
Which Boffnet picked up, and we used one of the things last night.
That's a point I should actually say, just on the AOS thing. There is a thing in this book called the Anvil of Apotheosis, which is a way in which you can create your custom characters. So you get a certain amount of points, and you can actually give a character different weapons, different skill sets, different mounts and stuff. So for those kit bashers out there, it's a really good way about completely personalising your army by going, okay, I've got this guy, I'm going to give him double axes, I'm going to make him really nice and tough and put him on a wyvern, and now off you go. So, Anvil of Apotheosis.
There's loads of Lord of the Rings stuff on made to order by the looks of it as well, for like specific encounters rather than kits. So like made toward Attack on Weathertop, like you get the Nazgul and you get the Hobbits and Aragorn in a campfire, apparently. Made toward a fella. Like there's cool, some cool stuff. White Dwarf as well came out yesterday. So there were plenty of stuff that came out. That one.
Balrog.
I want to paint another Balrog. I want to paint another one.
Is that a Dalek?
Where?
Yeah.
No, that's the. It's the thing that he has his stone on.
Yeah. It's like a Dalek.
Yeah, a little bit. And some terrain and stuff for Age of Sigmar as well. Some terrain there and the. Go on. Board. That's the word I'm looking for. Board. So yeah, loads of stuff come out. Loads of cool stuff. I thought there were more NIDs. Apparently, there's just the one model. It's just the one model actually. But it does look nice. So there we go. There's the NIDs or NID, I guess. So that was all the stuff that came out yesterday. That's the stuff that was on pre-order yesterday as well with the Norse Blood Bowl team. How much damage does the Campfire do? All the damage. The Nazgul gets set on fire and then they run away because they go out of fire. Balrogs don't have wings. Brilliant. So there we go. Age of Sigmar. It's a good game.
Yep.
It's a good game. Thank you for making me play it.
No, it's alright. It's alright. So, yeah.
Could have gone easier on me.
Nope. It's that whole thing about, you know, tough life, you've got to learn.
Tough love.
Yep. It'll be so much better when you finally beat me in a year.
Yeah. Well, later on this year we'll be having some rematches once I've got a bigger army and played it a bit more and learn.
There was this moment yesterday when we finished, Friday when we finished the second game.
Yeah, which came down to one dice roll.
Yep. And he sat in a chair and just stared at the table. And I was like, oh my god, he's going to explode. What the hell? And then he just grabbed the codex and went in the other room and sat there and just almost ignored me for 20 minutes while I chatted to Pirate Queen. And there was just this slow giggling coming across his face as he was reading what things could do and straight to the app and putting it in his army and then back. And I was going, you hooked, aren't you? He was like,
yeah. As I said, it's not going to overtake my 40k as my main game, but it is definitely going to be a game that I'm going to play a lot of, and it's going to be a nice secondary game. Is the tough love on your OnlyFans brilliant?
Yep.
And on that bombshell, we'll end the stream there. In a few minutes, 10 minutes, there's going to be a new video live on the channel. Make sure to go and check it out over on the main channel, the Pickle Jar. Link down in the description if you're brand new and you don't know about the main channel, although, come on. If you want to get involved with the community, there's a link for our Discord down there as well as all our affiliate links for Grimdice Tabletop Gaming, for Element Games, if you want to help support the channel whilst you're picking yourself up some new stuff. I will be live on Wednesday night. I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. Thinking about mixing things up a bit on the Wednesday live stream, but we will be live, so hopefully we'll see you there. And if not, then new podcast episode out tomorrow. I need to edit that later on today. New podcast out tomorrow with myself, Elston as always, and Buffnet as special guest, our first guest on the podcast. Make sure you go and check that out. That'll be live on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the normal places. We have got a YouTube channel set up. I've not got a command set up for a link for that, but we have got a YouTube channel set up. There's nothing on it yet. The plan will be to release the back catalogue in the lead up to the next episode, I think. So that it'll, in a couple of weeks, there'll be 5 episodes, and then the 6th episode will go on at the same time as it goes out everywhere else.
Luke's and
make sure to go and check out Luke's and Ben's video as well after you've watched mine. There will be links in the description of that video for both those videos, but I highly recommend checking out all 3.
And put in the comments that Pickles was best.
Yes. You don't have to do that. But there you go. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate that it is Easter Sunday and everyone is probably doing family stuff or Easter stuff. But thanks very much for tuning in. It's been lovely having you here in the chat. Sorry for the tech issues earlier on. Thank you for bearing with us. Enjoy the rest of your Easter Sunday, and if I don't see you before in the Discord, then I will see you on Wednesday night for another Pickle Vision live stream. Until then, enjoy your hobby. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you later.